Things must be bad. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this. Of course, you don't want to be wondering if your relationship is over. You'd rather be happy. You'd rather be thinking about when work is going to be over for the day and what you're going to watch on TV tonight. But you can't get that thought out of your mind. Is it over? You love him and you want to be with him, but you don't know if you can. Should you cut your losses or is there hope? Hi, I'm Amy Waterman, a dating and relationship expert with yourbrilliance.com. And in this video, I'm going to give you 4 questions that can help you decide whether you should stay or whether you should go. So the first question is, how committed is your relationship? It's one thing to end a relationship when you've only been seeing each other for a few months, but it's quite another thing to end a marriage. If you have been together for years, then, bumps on the road are to be expected. There will be days when you don't love him. There will even be days when you hate him. And that's why there's commitment. Commitment keeps you together even when you don't really like each other very much. It forges you into a team, and teams work together to achieve results regardless of their feelings about one another. By doing the work, they become stronger. But commitment has to be nurtured. It takes time to grow. A boyfriend is not a husband. Too much commitment too early on can even suffocate a budding relationship. And commitment has to be mutual too. A relationship is only as committed as its least committed member. So if he's not committed to you, then your relationship isn't a committed one, no matter how you feel. The second question is, how much work have you put in? Saving a relationship starts obviously with noticing that something's wrong. Even though burying your head in the sand feels great, it just delays the inevitable. You can't fix what you can't see. The second step is doing something about it. You've seen that something is wrong. Have you tried to fix it? Have you tried to talk to him about it? How many different strategies have you used? I know complaining doesn't count. Some people skip this step. They notice that something is wrong and they immediately jump to the conclusion that the relationship is fatally flawed. Or they make a token effort to fix it, but nothing changes. And so they decide it's impossible. It's too hard. It can't be done. Being in a relationship means living with a certain amount of conflict. According to the Gottman Institute, 69% of the conflict in a relationship is not solvable. But the answer isn't giving up then, it's learning to talk through it. As long as you can talk about your differences, even if you can't resolve them, there's hope. The third question is, how is your health? So there's one situation in which I recommend taking immediate action, and that's when your health is suffering. A toxic relationship doesn't just cause emotional suffering, it can actually cause physical harm. So if you're getting one cold after another, or small scrapes and bruises aren't healing, or you can't sleep and your blood pressure is through the roof, then you need to do something now. Even if you can't admit that your relationship is unhealthy, your body knows. It will show you the truth. Listen to it. So the final question is, have the Four Horsemen made an appearance? So one of Dr. John Gottman's most influential contributions to the field of marital therapy is this idea of the Four Horsemen, which he named after the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Dr. Gottman found that when criticizing, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling are present, then the end of a relationship is near. So ask yourself, does he criticize you as a person? Is there name calling or blaming or attacking? Does he display contempt towards you? So does he roll his eyes or show disgust or shame you or just make you feel inferior? Does he frequently get defensive? Does he twist everything you say back on you? Do all difficult discussions end up into debates about who's right and who's wrong? Does he use stonewalling to get out of difficult conversations? So that means, does he walk away or does he just refuse to discuss it? And lastly, of course, do you do any of those things? No one is a bad person for slipping into toxic patterns every now and then. Very few relationships escape the Four Horsemen entirely. We all have bad habits that are hard to break. But if you want to save your relationship, then putting an end to the Four Horsemen is a really good place to start. You can't change his behavior, but you can change your own. So start to notice when you're showing contempt or criticizing him, and catch yourself when you start to defend yourself. Focus on listening more than arguing, and worry less about whether your relationship is over than whether you've done what you needed to do. It can be weirdly satisfying to mull over this idea that disaster is coming, because fear creates drama and drama makes life more intense. But our fears are only useful if they spur us to action. So if all you do is worry about your relationship, you're actually harming it rather than helping it. So don't just sit there, do something. And you know the very best place to start? Talk to him. So there you have it. The 4 questions that you need to answer are: how committed is the relationship? How much work have you put in? How is your health? And have the 4 horsemen made an appearance? And if you feel comfortable, maybe you want to share some of your answers with us in the comments. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more great videos about how you can live your most brilliant life. And if you've got a moment, do come over to yourbrilliance.com. We have a lot more information about relationships and beauty, health, career, a whole lot more. We would love to see you there. See you again soon.